Today I'm so very excited to go back to a house that is very near and dear to my heart. And if you caught my last review from this house of Little Song, you know how I feel about this house. Today we're going back to the house of Meo Fusciuni with the fragrance Viole Nere. And as you can tell by the name of the fragrance, this is based around the note of violet. And you're gonna find that a lot in this one. This one is absolutely stunning. It has vintage elements, it has modern elements. It's beautifully unisex. So ladies, if you are interested in watching one of my videos, this one is for you all, and men as well. But stick around because this one is just a beautiful fragrance that is beautiful. That's all I can say, so stick around. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick, also known as Sit Nick. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for your continued support. And if you are new here, I create fragrance content in the form of detailed reviews with the occasional list. If that's something that interests you, please consider hitting that like button, drop me a comment, and join our community by hitting that red subscribe button. Now, let's get back to this review. So as with most of Meo Fusciuni's fragrances, he tells stories through his perfumery. He pours, soul into it, and every release that I've smelled, something is special, something is unique, it stands out, and it leaves me just in awe of his work. And like I've already said, this one is a very floral fragrance based around the note of violet and iris. So without further ado, let's dive into the fragrance. Now you can find a 100 milliliter bottle of this for $275. I'll have a link to that below from Fumery Parfumery in Portland, Oregon. Now this is a store that is absolutely wonderful. They've been around for a while. They are very well known in the community. I get no commission whatsoever, but I want to support this business, and Meo's work is stellar. You can't find it at a discounter, so this is where I'm going to send you if you want to pick up this fragrance. The perfumer for this fragrance was Meo Fusciuni, and the scent profile is going to be that of a violet, iris, woody, and mossy fragrance. And now with that, let's get into the notes. Now there are a lot of notes, and again, as with most of these fragrances, there are not dedicated top, heart, and base notes. So I'm going to just simply read these to you off the bottle. Now, the notes we're going to have here are going to be cassis, cognac, violet, iris, lily of the valley, jasmine, rose, ylang-ylang, vetiver, frankincense, sandalwood, patchouli, oak moss, vanilla, and musk. And you can kind of tell already just by the note breakdown that this has some very vintage feels. We're getting into these vintage florals, white florals, that kind of thing, and it's absolutely beautiful with a slight modern twist. So if I had to break down where I think these notes fall, in the top we're going to get the cassis, which is a black currant style note. So you're going to get this really green, tart, sharp, and kind of fruity note, and it's very prevalent here. It's a sharp green with a little bit of that black currant, that really tart fruit note. You're also going to get the cognac right away. The cognac provides a nice boozy element. It's not really strong by any means, but it adds a little twist, a little bit of this, warm, fiery, a little bit of that kind of nod. And then also in the top, you're going to get that violet, and there is a lot of it there, and that is like the star. Now the violet in this is not, in my opinion, that of like petrol, gasoline style thing. This is very aromatic. It's kind of wet. It's damp. It feels like, you've got fresh violet leaves, like violets that have just, like, it's just dewed, and there's moisture on the leaf still. That's the vibe you're getting right away. You transition to the heart and you've got iris, and the iris in this is definitely a dry, aromatic, powdery iris. This is the more feminine leaning iris. It's not going to be a earthy orris root style thing. It's definitely powdery, kind of makeup-y, but not near as intense as like Diorum Intense, that kind of thing. You're also going to get the lily of the valley in the heart, the jasmine, the ylang-ylang, and the rose. You get this beautiful floral bouquet, and the combination of this gives you kind of chypre style vibes. Now we are missing another note in the chypre accord, but with these florals, we're getting really close. To my nose, the iris is really prevalent. The lily of the valley is behind. It gives more of that dewy, soapy, white floral vibe. The ylang-ylang is a beautiful note. It's very easy to detect. It's not a straight yellow floral, powdery yellow floral, but you get that poor man's jasmine. You get that slight tropical vibe from it, that little bit of a fruity, banana-y, pear-like, and again, just beautiful note. The rose is subtle to my nose. It is aromatic, not jammy by any means, but the heart is just, it's stunning with a nice array of florals. Now in the base, you get the rest of the notes. You're picking up on the vetiver, the frankincense, the sandalwood, the moss, the musk, the vanilla, and the patchouli. And prevalent notes here are going to be the sandalwood for sure. You get a very nice, dry, woody base. The vetiver, again, prevalent. You get the earthiness of that. It's gorgeous. The oak moss is another one of those things that kind of gives it Chypre style vibes. That is very noticeable. Even from the beginning, you get these green mossy elements, and it's definitely a more modernized moss. It's not going to be like a really deep kind of smoky moss. It's going to be greener and more clean and transparent, we'll say. The patchouli is supporting, it's earthy, not really chocolatey. The musk is cozy, supporting, not overly prevalent. And the vanilla, again, is a supporting character, giving fullness, sweetness, just a little bit throughout the base. A little bit of creaminess, but not overly sweet by any means. And the only thing we're missing to finalize the Chypre Accord is labdanum, but that's not there, so this is not an outright Chypre. But overall, what we're getting is florals, violet, iris, woods, powder, and it's absolutely stunning. All that said, let's get into the questions. Is this one original? Yes, absolutely, to my nose. There is a kind of style at play here that could be similar to other fragrances. The other thing I forgot to mention is there's almost a leathery note at play here, a very vintage leathery note. The only thing that this kind of reminds me of is Ombre Queer to HJ from Henri Jacques. But even then, this is, in my opinion, easier to wear, more modern, and a fuller fragrance for literally a fraction of the cost. Now, the audience for this, as I've said, is unisex, leaning a touch feminine, in my opinion. I have no issues wearing this as a guy. I think this is outstanding on a man, but this will feel right at home on a lady. In terms of the age group, being a more mature kind of vintage style fragrance, I'm going to put this one around 30 and up. But if you have an appreciation for vintage style perfumery, definitely just go for this, try it. It's fairly safe. When I was at Cinexplore, this one was so popular. So many of my friends, I showed it to them and they were just wowed by the quality of the fragrance. It's outstanding, guys. Now, in terms of seasons you're gonna wanna wear this, this is a spring, fall, and winter style fragrance. It really shines in the spring because it really smells like new life, like the new flowers blooming, the wet earth from the melting snow and the new dew, the woods, all of it. This is spring through and through, but feel free to wear this in the fall, wear it in the winter. In the summer, it's gonna get a little strong, so I definitely recommend cooler months on this one. Occasions, this could be a great signature scent. This could be a great night out fragrance. This is really elegant. This is really just spectacular, sophisticated. So wear this when you wanna, feel confident. That kind of thing, that's what this fragrance is gonna do. Now, in terms of performance, it's very good, as is typical with Meo's work. Longevity, you're gonna get about 8 to 10 hours, probably more to be completely honest, but you're gonna be losing it around there. Projection is really solid. You're gonna get a good blast for the first hour. It projects pretty well, and then it dials back to a nice medium for the rest of the duration. It's not as strong as some of his other work, but again, that plays to the elegance of the fragrance. In terms of sprays, I'm gonna say anywhere from 3 to 5 on this one. Going past 5, you're into overspray territory, and it will take away from the essence of the fragrance, but you do you. So this kind of fragrance is for someone looking for slightly vintage, a nice floral option for the spring, for the colder months. Maybe you want to get something, a little different in your collection, a little more iris centered, a little more, floral violet, that kind of thing. That's for this person. Now, let's get on to the rating, guys. I'm going to give this one an 8.7. I think this is absolutely stunning. It's one of my favorite iris fragrances in my collection now. From the first time I smelled it, absolutely wonderful. Exceptional work through and through, bordering into masterpiece territory. It's a work of art. Guys, if you enjoyed that review, if you learned anything, let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, please consider hitting the like button and join our community by hitting that red subscribe button. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace.